Good morning, everyone. In this video lesson, we are going to study about ground wave propagation. The various outcomes of this lesson are: we will study about interference of EM waves, types of wave propagation, and we will also discuss in detail about ground wave propagation. In the last class, we have discussed about nature and behavior of EM waves, reflection of EM waves, diffraction of EM waves, diffraction of EM waves. Behavior of EM waves. EM waves are transverse in nature. When electric power is applied to a circuit, a system of voltages and currents are set up with certain relation governed by the properties of the circuit itself. The voltage may be high if the impedance of the circuit is high. In a similar manner, any power escaping into the space is governed by the characteristics of the free space. If such power escapes, it is said to have been radiated, and it is then propagated in the space known as electromagnetic wave. Radio waves are electromagnetic oscillations that propagate through free space with velocity of the light. Electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. That is, the direction of the propagation of the wave is perpendicular to the magnetic field as well as electric field. Electric field is perpendicular to magnetic field. The direction of propagation is perpendicular to both electric field and magnetic field. Hence, EM waves are transverse in nature. Radio waves are identical and behaves in a similar manner as that of light. Radio waves will be reflected by ground, mountains, and buildings. They will be refracted as they pass through the layers of the atmosphere with different densities. EM waves may be diffracted around tall massive objects. EM waves may also be absorbed by different media. So these are all the properties of the EM waves. There will be a refraction of EM wave, a reflection of EM wave, diffraction of EM wave. Reflection means when an electromagnetic wave is striking the boundary where we have different medium, one medium having certain refractive index, the another medium having certain refractive index. When incident wave is falling on the boundary, they will be reflected back. Angle of incidence will be same as angle of reflection. So reflection of EM wave is taking place. The reason for reflection is if the refractive index of one medium is higher than the other medium, there will be a reflection into the same medium. Refraction of EM wave. Let us consider the refraction. Refraction means the bending into the second medium. Let us consider the two media. One medium, air, with refractive index 1, the other medium, water, with refractive index 1.33. When we apply the electromagnetic wave at the boundary, normal to the boundary, there will be a refraction because the water will have more refractive index than the air, so there will be a bending. The amount of bending depends on the change in refractive index. Direction of propagation bends towards the normal axis, going from medium 1, that is lower refractive index, to a denser medium having higher refractive index. Bending occurs because one part of the wave lags the other. Wavelength shortens going from one medium of lower refractive index to higher medium by a factor 1/n. Now we also studied about the diffraction. The electromagnetic waves will undergo the diffraction effect. The bending of waves as it moves around an obstacle or passing through a narrow opening. This is the narrow opening. Then there will be a diffraction. So bending of the waves around the edge of an obstacle. So when electromagnetic waves are passing from one route to the other route, if there are tall mountains, then there will be a diffraction, bending through the mountain, so that the electromagnetic waves follow the path of the diffraction, and then it will be received at the distant end. Now we will study in detail about the interference of the EM waves. In physics, interference is a phenomenon in which two waves are superposed to form a resultant wave of greater or lower or the same amplitude. Two waves are mixing, so that we will be getting a resultant wave. The resultant wave may be more in amplitude, or maybe it may be less in amplitude, or it may be the same amplitude, depending upon how they are mixing. Interference effects can be observed with all types of waves. For example, we have light signal. There will be an interference of light. We have radio signals that are the communication applications. So there is an interference of electromagnetic waves. Then we have acoustic signal, surface water waves, gravity waves, matter waves. These are all the different types of waves. Interference is the most important phenomena for all these types of waves. So there will be a superimpose of different waves and forming a resultant wave. Depending upon the resultant formation, how they are mixing, we will be getting the different amplitude levels. So let us take two waves here. When in phase, the two lower waves create constructive interference, resulting in a wave of greater amplitude. That means there are two types of interference. One is constructive interference. The second one is destructive interference. The constructive interference is that when the two waves are in phase, they will be producing a resultant wave whose amplitude is higher. Okay, so let us see this waveform. This is one wave. This is the second wave. Both are starting at t equal to 0. They are in phase. Then they will be added up. These two waves, point by point addition, they will be added up, and we are getting the resultant wave. This resultant wave is higher in amplitude than the two waves. There is a reason for this is one wave is in phase or 0 degrees phase with the other wave, and hence there is addition of the two waves. The addition of the two waves results in a wave having greater amplitude. So this type of interference, we call it as a constructive interference. So this is the phenomena that we observe when electromagnetic waves are passing from one end to the other end. These waves are propagating in the channel in different direction. When at the receiving end, when they are added up in phase, when they are coming up in phase, they will be added up, and we will be getting a more field strength. When they are 180 degrees out of phase, that means one wave is out of phase with respect to other. One wave is like this, 0 degrees phase. The other wave is 180 degrees phase. What is 180 degrees phase shift here? It is just the reversal in amplitude. One amplitude at 0 degrees phase shift. Here 180 degrees phase shift amplitude is reversed to that of the first one. There is amplitude inversion here. When these two waves are added up, this is positive voltage and this is negative voltage. Similarly, this is negative voltage and this is positive voltage. When the two waves, they are 180 degrees phase shift, are added up, they will be cancelled. Positive and negative is cancelled out. So we will be getting the low minimum null value here. It is destructive. This is totally resultant signal is 0 in amplitude. That is why two waves are present here, but because of the interference between these two waves, they are out of degrees, 180 degrees out of phase shift, and there is no wave, there is no resultant wave. So when they are phase shifted by certain amount, there will be a less amplitude level. So the amplitude level of the resulting signal depends upon how these two waves are interfering with each other. In the first case, they are at 0 degrees, so they will be added up and we will be getting the resultant wave higher than the amplitude, higher than the two values. Here, they are of 180 degrees phase shift. When they are added up, positive voltage is cancelled out with negative voltage and we will be getting the 0 amplitude. So there will be a positive addition, there will be negative addition. That means there will be a constructive interference when the two waves are added up at 0 degrees phase shift. When the two waves which are 180 degrees phase shift are added up, they will create destructive interference. So constructive interference occurs when the phase difference between the waves is an even multiple of pi. Even multiple of pi. Pi is 180 degrees. Even multiple means 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi. That means there is no phase shift at all, 0 degrees phase shift. So even multiple of pi is the 0 degrees phase shift. 0, 2 pi, 4 pi. They are repeating complete cycle. And hence the constructive interference will occur. The resultant wave will be having higher magnitude than the individual waves. Destructive interference occurs when the difference in the phase shift is odd multiple of pi. Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi, and so on. So when the different phase shifts are added, then we will be getting the destructive interference where the resultant amplitude is less than the individual amplitudes. If the difference between the phases is intermediate between these two extremities, then the magnitude of the displacement of the summed wave lies between the maximum value and the minimum value. So it depends upon the phase difference between the two waves. So as the phase difference is multiple of even multiple of pi, there will be a constructive interference. When the phase difference is odd multiple of pi, there will be a destructive interference. Hence, we will be getting the resultant wave having magnitude, which is the sum value lying between the minimum value and the maximum value, depending upon the phase difference between the two waves. This is the interference phenomena. These two waves, one wave adding up with the other wave, and if they are if they are of multiple of 2 pi, that means if the phase shift is 0, then we will be getting more magnitude. If the phase shift is 180 degrees out of phase shift, then we will be getting the less magnitude. So then these two waves are superimposing over the other. The resulting wave depends upon there are 2 points also here. They are radiating 2 electromagnetic waves. When they are 0 degrees phase shift, they will be added up. When they are 180 degrees phase shift, they will be subtracted. Now answer these following questions. The medium wave broadcast transmission uses which type of propagation? So medium wave broadcasting, which is in the range from 530 to 1640 kilohertz, that is AM radio broadcasting range, uses ground wave propagation. As we have seen in the previous lessons, not studied in detail, we know that a medium wave makes use of ground wave propagation. Why stations in the AM standard broadcast band always use vertically polarized antennas? Antennas used for AM broadcast is quarter wave vertical monopole, Quarter wave means 1/4. Lambda by 4 is the wave length of the antenna, which produces vertically polarized signals. These vertically polarized signals are propagating through ground. Ground wave propagation makes use of vertically polarized antennas for AM radio broadcasting. Now we will go into details about the wave propagation, methods of wave propagation. Then we will also see the effect of each and every method. We have number of wave propagation methods. Ground wave propagation, which is also known as surface wave propagation. The second type is the sky wave propagation, which is also known as ionospheric propagation. The third one is the space wave propagation, which is also known as line of sight propagation and also known as direct wave propagation. Tropospheric scatter propagation, duct propagation, extraterrestrial propagation. There are different methods of wave propagation. What is wave propagation? It is the wave propagating through the medium from transmitting end to the receiving end. So the waves are produced by transmitting antenna. One modulated electrical signal is applied to transmitting antenna. Antenna will convert the modulated electrical signal into electromagnetic waves. They can be applied and passing through the ground. Such type of propagation, we call it as ground wave propagation. At certain height, ionosphere radiation. When the waves are projected towards ionosphere, those wave propagations are called ionospheric propagation. We can make use of the reflection properties of the ionosphere. From one end, we are projecting the signal wave towards ionosphere. Ionosphere reflect the signal and the reflected energy will be collected at the distant end. So this type of propagation, we call it as quasi-wave propagation or ionospheric propagation. So when the electromagnetic waves are projected towards ionosphere, we can make use of the reflections from the ionosphere. The reflected energy will be received back at the distant end. From that, we will be recovering the original message. That is called ionospheric propagation. The next type of propagation is the space wave propagation. It is also called as line of sight propagation. This space wave propagation is at certain height. It is in the troposphere. At certain height, we can make use of transmitting antenna, receiving antenna. At certain height, there will be a direct wave propagation or line of sight communication. Both the antennas looking each other, and the signal will be projected from one antenna to the other, and they are transmitting through the space at certain height above the ground. Then we have tropospheric scatter propagation, which makes use of the reflection properties from the troposphere, similar to the ionosphere. Troposphere exists at a height of 10 kilometers. So we are projecting the signal toward the troposphere. The troposphere will reflect those waves. The signal, reflected signal, we will be collecting at the distant end, and then we can get back the original message. That is done in the tropospheric scatter propagation. The next type of propagation is the duct propagation. Duct propagation, at the surface of the ground, there is a duct formed. When different densities are there near the surface, for example, on the surface of the ocean, a duct is formed. So through duct, the waves are propagating. So we will discuss in detail about it. Extraterrestrial propagation, that is beyond the terrestrial communication, that is nothing but the satellite communication. We are projecting the signal from ground station towards satellite. Satellite receives the signal, amplifies the signal, down convert the signal to downlink frequency, and can retransmit the signal toward the distant end. So that type of extraterrestrial propagation, we call it as a satellite communication, and we will be discussing in detail about each and every wave propagation methods. The first one is the ground wave propagation, which is also known as surface wave propagation. The second one is the sky wave propagation. It is also called as ionospheric propagation. Space wave propagation, it is also called as a line of sight communication. Then we have tropospheric scatter communication. We have duct propagation. Then extraterrestrial propagation. So these are the different methods for propagation of the waves. Each of these methods we will be discussing in the next lessons. Waves travel in straight line except where the earth and its atmosphere alter their path. Frequencies above the high frequency generally travel in straight lines. They propagate by means of so-called space waves. These are termed as space waves. There are sometimes called as troposphere waves since they travel in the troposphere, the portion of the atmosphere close to the ground. Frequencies below HF range travel around the curvature of the Earth. They are called ground waves or surface waves. For example, all broadcast radio signals received propagate by means of surface waves. So we are going to discuss about the different types of waves propagations in detail. If you observe this diagram, we have the Earth, transmitter and the receiver are separated by the distance. Generally, we are transmitting the signal from the transmitter and we will be receiving back the signal at the receiver. There are so many modes of propagation of the signal in the atmosphere. It is a wireless communication. There are so many modes. The first mode which we have seen is the ground wave propagation. So the waves that are transmitted through transmitter, they will strike the ground and make use of the ground as the medium and passing through the ground, and they will be received at the distant end. The technique in the ground wave propagation is there is a vertically polarized signals that are striking the ground and passing toward the distant. Then we have the space wave propagation. At certain height, we will provide transmitting antenna. And at the same height, we will provide the receiving antenna. There will be a line of sight communication. The signal will be passing through certain height. We can make use of antennas located on the top of the towers. Space wave above the ground. Generally, they are troposphere. Then we have a sky wave, ionosphere. So we have ionosphere at a height from 80 kilometers to 720 kilometers. The signals will be projected from transmitter toward the ionosphere, and we have different layers in the ionosphere, such as D layer, E layer, F1 layer, and F2 layer. Generally, F1 and F2 layers are called the reflection layers. The signal will strike the ionosphere. The layers of the ionosphere reflect the signal. The reflected energy we will be receiving back at the distant end in case of ionospheric communication. We can also make use of satellite extraterrestrial communication. For geostationary satellite, it is lifted at a height of 36,000 kilometers. So the signal from the ground station will be radiated into the space in the form of uplink frequency. For satellite communication, we can make use of the microwave frequencies. For the case of C-band, we can make use of 6 gigahertz signal transmission here, so that that 6 gigahertz signal will penetrate through all the layers and it will reach up to the satellite. Satellite picks up that particular signal, amplifies the signal, down convert it into downlink frequency. The downlink frequency in case of C-band is 4 gigahertz. That 4 gigahertz signal will be retransmitted toward the distant end. We will be picking up that particular signal at the receiver, and then we do the processing here, demodulation here, to recover back the message. So propagation means how the signal will be sending from transmitter to the receiver in the space. It can be through either ground wave, or it can be through space wave, or it can be through the tropospheric scatter, or it can be the sky wave, or it can be the satellite or extraterrestrial communication systems. Now we will discuss in detail about the ground wave propagation. The ground wave guides around the curvature of the earth. So the main propagation method is the we can make use of the curvature of the earth, and these waves, ground waves, are guiding the signal. So these waves will be propagating through the by striking the earth, and they are propagated toward the distant end. When transmitting and receiving antennas are close to the surface of the earth, propagation is mainly due to the surface wave. So antennas are located very near to the ground. For example, radio communication. So antennas are located very near to the ground. When the transmitting and receiving antennas are close to the surface of the earth, propagation, we call it as surface wave propagation. It is also called as ground wave propagation. Ground wave is that electromagnetic wave which is guided along the surface of the earth. The ground wave being produced by vertical antennas is vertically polarized to prevent short circuiting the electric component. The ground wave propagation along the surface of the earth induces charge in the earth which travel with the wave and hence constitute a current. For medium waves, long waves, and very long waves frequencies, ground wave propagation is particularly used. Ground wave propagation is possible up to 2 megahertz. So these 2 megahertz signals, below 2 megahertz signals will be guiding through the surface of the earth. If the frequency is above 2 megahertz, they will be absorbed by the ground. And hence the frequencies up to 2 megahertz frequencies are used for ground wave propagation. So a wave induces currents in the ground as it passes and thus loses energy by absorption. There may be an absorption. However, this is made up to certain extent by energy diffracted downward from the upper portion of the wavefront. So they are striking the ground and then passing through the ground, and it will reach up to the distant end. Above 2 megahertz frequencies cannot be passed through the ground wave. The reason is attenuation is more. There are more signal losses. So this is the diagram showing the path of the ground wave. We have transmitter here and we have receiver. We want to transmit the signal from transmitter to receiver. And this is the skip area, the distance between transmitter and receiver along the surface of the earth. Through ground, the waves are propagating. Here we have an antenna which is placed very close to the ground. The receiving antenna is also placed very close to the ground. These waves are vertically polarized and they will be propagating through the ground. This is another diagram clearly showing the ground wave propagation. We have transmitter here We have receiver here, surface of the earth. Earth is in the curvature. If it is long distance communication, from transmitter we are transmitting the signal vertically polarized. The reason for vertical polarization is if it is horizontally polarized, when they are made horizontal with respect to ground, the ground will absorb those waves, and hence it is vertically polarized. These vertically polarized waves striking the ground and passing through the ground. So the angle of tilt is increasing. These are the successive wave fronts. As it is moving from transmitter to receiver, the angle of tilt increases, increasing the angle of tilt. When the angle of tilt becomes more here, if it is 180 degrees, what happens? That wave will disappear. So we can provide repeaters such that the signal will not be disappeared. So we can pick up the signal along the route. Ground waves are produced by vertical antennas. The reason is we need vertical polarization for ground wave propagation. Horizontal components of electric field is in contact with the earth and is short circuited by the earth. That is the reason we are not providing horizontal antennas. We are not providing horizontal polarization. If there is a horizontal polarization, the ground will observe those signals, and then the signal propagation cannot be done properly. When the ground wave propagates along the surface of the earth, it induces currents in the earth. While carrying this induced current, the earth behaves just like a leaky capacitor, and the earth can be represented as a resistance in shunt with a capacitor. So it behaves just like a capacitor. It is like this. Earth's behavior. It is like this when they are striking the ground. Negative charge during the next half cycle, positive charge. So it is acting like the capacitor in shunt with a resistor. There will be the leakage of current through the capacitor. The earth will absorb the waves, some waves. So that is due to the nature of the leakage of capacitance value. Attenuation of ground. The ground wave moves along the surface of the earth, gets attenuated. Attenuation means there are losses in the received signal. Attenuation is due to earth absorption, diffraction, tilt in the wavefront. The earth abstraction absorption is the waves will be absorbed by earth. When they become parallel, when some waves are becoming parallel, the earth will absorb those waves and there is no further propagation. Diffraction means they are tilting. Earth is not totally flat. There may be hill area. Due to that area, that there will be a diffraction, bending of the electromagnetic waves. The properties of the EM waves applies here. Tilt in the wavefront. Wavefront will be tilted. There is more tilt as the wave passes to long distance. If the distance between transmitter and receiver is more, there is more tilt, and hence there will be more losses. As the wave progresses over the curvature of the earth, the wavefront starts gradually tilting more and more. The tilting is becoming more if the distance is more. Curvature is more means if the distance is more. The increase in tilt of the wave causes more short circuit of the electric field component and the field strength reduces. If the wave tilt is becoming more, there will be a short circuiting of electric field component by the ground. So the waves will disappear, some waves will be disappear. Due to that, the field strength reduces. That is the main problem with the ground wave propagation. So we always see that there will be a vertically polarized signal, so that there is no short circuiting of the electric field component. at some appreciable distance from the transmitting antenna, expressed in wavelength, the surface wave completely attenuates ultimately. So the distance is more, there will be complete attenuation taking place. We have to see that there should not be complete attenuations, and we have to provide the repeaters. So this is the more detailed diagram. This is the direction of the travel. Transmitter is somewhere here and receiver is here. The waves are vertically polarized and they are striking the ground, passing through the ground. And when they are becoming, and the angle of tilt is increasing here, there will be short circuiting of some waves. Further, if the distance increases, the angle of tilt also increases. There is further short circuiting. Due to that, the electric field strength at the receiver decreases. And we have to see that the strength received, field strength received should be sufficient enough such that we can reproduce the waves properly. See this diagram. This is the transmitter, receiver. These waveforms passing, striking the ground and passing through it, angle of tilt increases. And when the electric field component received at the distant end is not sufficient, we can provide the amplification so that we can further propagate the signal toward the distant end. Thereby, we can provide long distance communication. The components of the ground wave. Basically, the ground wave consists of three components. One is the direct wave. The second one is the reflected wave. Third one is the surface wave. Direct wave. Waves travel directly from the transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna through the space. We are locating the antennas at certain height. Those waves will directly travel from transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna. There are no reflections and there are no absorptions. The waves will be directly received by the receiving antenna. This is the direct wave component of the ground. The second one is the reflected wave. The wave traveling toward the earth gets reflected by it and reaches the receiver. Some of the waves will be, when they are striking the ground, they will be reflected. The reflected wave will be received at the receiving antenna. So this is the reflected component of the ground wave. Surface wave, the wave which travel along the curvature of the earth in contact with the surface of the earth. And hence, when the waves are propagating through ground wave, there will be three types of the waves that are propagating through the ground. One is direct wave. Those waves can travel directly from the transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna through the space between them. The second one is the reflected wave. The wave travels toward the earth, gets reflected by it and reaches the receiver antenna. Surface wave, the wave which travel along the curvature of the earth in contact with the surface of the earth, that is surface wave. And all these waves will be picked up by the receiving antenna. See this diagram clearly showing this is the ground wave propagation. So ground wave antenna is located very near to the ground. The waves that are directly propagating through it. The transmitting antenna, there is a receiving antenna, there is a direct wave. Then some of the waves will be reflected by the ground. They are striking the ground, will be reflected by the ground, reflected wave. And some of the waves, they are striking the ground and passing through the ground. This is the surface wave. If the antennas are very high, then it becomes the space wave propagation. When the antennas are located very near to the ground, it is most eventually it is most the surface wave. Whereas here the antennas are located on the top of the towers, so there is a space wave communication, direct wave communication. So some of the signal will be reflected by the ground, and some of the signals will be striking the ground as it is passing through the ground, and it will be received by the receiving antenna. So reflected wave will have path difference, which leads to phase difference. When there is a path difference, due to the path difference, there will be the phase difference. If the phase shift is 180 degrees, as we have seen, the direct wave and reflected wave effectively cancel each other. There will be an interference, destructive interference. And we have to see that the waves cannot provide the 180 degrees phase shift. Polarize the antennas, use the antenna polarization such that the waves should not produce 180 degrees phase shift. If the phase difference is 180 degrees, the direct wave and the reflected wave will interfere with each other. There will be an interference of electromagnetic wave, and the effect is cancellation of the waves. The signal cannot be received properly. Ground wave becomes the main mode of propagation at lower frequencies up to 2 MHz. Factors affecting the surface wave. Surface wave signal strength reduces as it travels longer distances. The attenuation of the wave depends on the type of the terrain, surface of the earth, over which passes. So type of the terrain means it is the surface, how the surface of the earth is there, whether there is a tilting is there, whether rocky area, hill area, or if there are obstructions in between the route. Depending upon the obstructions in between the route, there will be an attenuation for the transmitted signals. So attenuation of the wave depends on the type of the terrain. Water causes least attenuation, while mountains, forests, and density populated terrains cause high attenuation. So high attenuation is due to the mountains. If in between the route, if there are mountains, forests, density areas, then which causes more attenuation, while water causes least attenuation. Attenuation increases rapidly with the increase in the frequency. As the frequency goes beyond 2 MHz, the attenuation is predominating. That is the reason we are not using higher frequencies for ground wave propagation. Now let us see the advantages of ground wave propagation. Very reliable communication, almost independent of weather conditions and solar activities, because these waves are very near to the ground. So weather conditions, it is almost independent of the weather conditions and solar activities. Round the world communication is possible because we can propagate the signal throughout the around the clock, through the atmosphere, through the ground. Standard AM radio broadcast relies mainly on ground wave propagation. Long range coverage is possible at low frequency with higher power. So if we transmit more amount of power, we can transmit it to long distance. Short distances cover with HF range is possible, which requires low power. If the power level is high, we can transmit it to long distance. If the power level is low, we can transmit it to short distance. So distance of transmission depends on the power level of the transmission also. Disadvantage, ground waves are attenuated very quickly above 2 MHz. So we are not using the frequencies above 2 MHz. And hence we have very limited usable spectrum. We cannot increase the bandwidth. That is the reason we have very limited usable spectrum for ground wave communication. Ground wave requires relatively high power. For low frequencies, large length antennas are required for good efficiency. If the frequency is low, the wavelength is high, and hence the size of the antenna is more. So we need a large size antennas for efficient reception of the signals. Ground wave propagation has little effect, no scope for the expansion. Once it is installed, and we cannot further extend it unless we use the repeaters in between the route. And we have the Sommerfeld analysis for the ground wave propagation. According to Sommerfeld analysis, the Earth is observed as flat ground wave field intensity is equal to A into E naught by D. E naught is nothing but the field strength of the wave at the surface of the earth at a unit distance from the transmitting antenna. So E naught is the field strength. D is the distance to transmitting antenna, distance of coverage. A is the factor taken into account, the ground losses. So the field strength depends on power radiated from transmitting antenna, directivity in vertical and horizontal planes. In case of short vertical antenna, E naught is given by the formula 300 root WT. The factors affecting the value of A, the conductivity, dielectric constant of the earth, the frequency, the distance to the transmitter, and wavelength. So in this lesson, we have studied about the types of propagation. There are different types of propagation, namely ground wave propagation or surface wave propagation, sky wave propagation or ionospheric propagation, space wave propagation or direct wave propagation or line of sight wave propagation, tropospheric scatter propagation, extraterrestrial propagation or satellite communication. We have discussed in detail about the ground wave propagation. Ground waves can exist when the transmitting and receiving antennas are close to the surface of the earth and they are vertically polarized. Up to 2 MHz frequencies are used for ground wave propagation. Attenuation of the ground wave occurs due to the Earth's absorption, diffraction, and tilt of the wavefront. On water surface wave travels long distance as it offers least attenuation. According to Sommerfeld analysis, the value of the electric field is given by field intensity is given by A into E by D. E naught equal to 300 root WT. Ground wave provides very reliable communication that is almost independent of weather conditions and solar radiations. Standard AM radio broadcasting makes use of the ground wave propagation. Now let us answer some quiz questions. Ground wave is used for, different options are given here. Ground wave is used for option B, medium wave broadcasting. That means the AM radio broadcasting. Second question, the ground wave eventually disappears as one moves away from the transmitter because of, options are provided, because of tilting. When the distance between transmitter and receiver increases, the angle of tilt increases, the wave disappears. Ground wave propagation is possible up to what frequencies? Correct choice is up to 2 MHz. So we can transmit frequencies up to 2 MHz through ground wave propagation. If we provide more than 2 MHz propagation, then they will be attenuated. That is the reason ground wave makes use of the frequencies up to 2 MHz. Attenuation of ground wave occurs due to earth absorption, diffraction, tilt of the wavefront. All of the Earth will absorb some waves. There is a diffraction effect, tilting effect. Because of this, there will be an attenuation for the ground wave. And these are the questions. Explain about interference of EM waves. Mention different types of wave propagation. Explain ground wave propagation of radio waves. Mention the advantages and disadvantages of ground wave propagation.